اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأعلي بفضلك كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم انصر المجاهدين في سبيلك في كل مكان. اللهم وحد صفوفهم واجمع كلمتهم وانصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم. اللهم فك قيد أسرانا وأسر المسلمين وردهم إلى أهلهم سالمين. اللهم اعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأعلي بفضلك كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم انصر المجاهدين في سبيلك في كل مكان. اللهم وحد صفوفهم واجمع كلمتهم وانصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم. اللهم فك قيد أسرانا وأسر المسلمين وردهم إلى أهلهم سالمين.
According to a media report in 2011, Qatar's Eid Charity Foundation donated 385,000 Qatari rial, about $1.4 million, for purchasing Mississauga-based Dar al-Tawhid Islamic Center and Safa and Marwa Islamic School. 5 years later, in January 2016, Ibrahim Hindy, the Imam of Dar al-Tawhid Islamic Center, went to Qatar on a fundraising mission. The Charities Directorate of Canada Revenue Agency, CRA, provided to Global News the following, quote, Eid Foundation is alleged to have provided support to terrorism. Our research indicates that the Eid Foundation is a member organization in the Union of Good, a global coalition of Islamic charities operated by Hamas, a listed terrorist entity in Canada. End quote. In one of his sermons at Dar al-Tawhid Islamic Center, Imam Ibrahim Hindy equated what he called the Islamophobes of today to Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab, the two prime and bitter opponents of Muhammad. Abu Jahl was killed by Muhammad's fighters, who decapitated him, while Abu Lahab was fatally wounded by Lubaba bint al-Harith, the sister of two of Muhammad's wives, after being hit in his head with a tent pole.
The Islamophobia that surrounds us and that targets us, we see the same similarities remain. And it's as if the Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab are resurrected and suggesting the same tactics to the Abu Jahls and the Abu Lahab of today. And so how similar is yesterday to today?
On December 13, 2016, Dar al-Tawhid hosted Sheikh Nashat Ahmad, who was described by the mosque and its imam as, quote, a well-known scholar from Egypt. According to Al Jazeera Center for Studies, Sheikh Nashat Ahmad is affiliated with the Egyptian Salafi movement, which was subjected to security restrictions and even arrest and trial in various cases related to fatwas or Islamic edicts, urging the support of mujahideen, Muslims who engage in jihad, in, quote, Palestine, end quote, and justifying the 9/11 attacks.
انصر إخواننا المجاهدين في بلاد الشام والعراق وفي مصر وليبيا وبرما ومالي واليمن وسائر بلاد المسلمين. اللهم انتقم من أعداء دينك. اللهم عليك باليهود وسائر من شايعهم وناصرهم من بلاد الغرب والشرق. اللهم عليك بالروس والهندوس. عليك بالشيعة والشيوعيين. عليك بكل من اعتدى على المسلمين. رب احصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا. اللهم طهر أرض المسلمين من دنسهم ورجسهم. اللهم حرر الأقصى الأسير.
There are a couple of verses in the Quran that seem to condone something that we would find very difficult, and that is a man striking his wife under certain circumstances. So Surah 434, 38, 44, there seems to be allusion to that. How are those passages to be understood?
Right. So this verse talks about, when there's marital discourse, that the husband should leave the bed, abandon the wife in the bed for a while. If that doesn't work, then it says strike her. And if that doesn't work, then to go for divorce. Okay. Essentially is what the verse says. So some people have, I'll say, like more of a liberal understanding of this, reinterpretation of this verse, or interpretation, is they'll say the word for strike in Arabic could mean to take a path, like to strike a path.
Okay.
So they'll say this is saying to leave, like both of them are saying to leave. I don't really ascribe to that.
Okay.
I do think it says to strike. However, how did the early Muslims understand this?
Okay.
So I go back to the earliest Muslims. All of them said it means to hit the person with a twig.
Okay.
Literally a small twig or like a pen or something. You hit the person with a pen. So now someone could say, well, why would you do that? What's the
Right.
wisdom of that? How does
Right.
that make any sense? So the way that I look at it and the way that I preach about it is that this verse is talking about, and I'm sure you have a lot of experience with this, where you have, married couples and they're having problems and they're not really communicating, and all of a sudden one side says, I want a divorce. And the other side's like, whoa, where did that come from? I didn't expect that to happen, right? So really it's a situation where there's a breakdown of communication. One side doesn't understand how bad it's getting for the other side.
Okay.
So this verse is about when that verbal communication breaks down, you need to still communicate in other ways. So one way to communicate is you leave the bed. So that way the wife knows, hey, this is really getting to a point where he's even willing to leave me in the bed and sleep somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, then you tap the person. And this is a type of nonverbal communication, is striking with a pen or with a twig to say, this has reached its limits. Like, I don't have any other avenue after this other than divorce.
Okay.
And if that still doesn't work, then you get the divorce at that point.